Hello and welcome to episode 5, I think, of the newly rebooted Nintendo News Report. I am Donald Terriel. Alex is on assignment this week, doing a whole lot, so I'll be sitting in tonight, and I might still have a job here at NWR when this is all over. We don't know. The man
Like
who,
the GameCube, man.
well, that voice you heard with the sword of Damocles over my head is our site director, Neal.
Hi, everybody. Go Pack Go. This might be my last week of being able to say that this year with a hope for the future.
And joining us with a new setup, and it took a little bit of finagling, so apologies for being late tonight, Mr. Zach Miller.
If it's a technical glitch, it's my fault.
Yeah, we're trying something new tonight. It involves a Surface, and apparently these are good podcasting rigs, but who knows?
We're going to find out.
Yeah. Hey, if it's good enough for Johnny, but anyway. So a little bit of newsy things here just to kick us off. Of course, there was a bunch of Switch rumors that came out this week. 3 big ones in total. In relative order of importance, you've got the possibility that the system will be running more powerfully when it's docked because it'll be drawing power via USB while it's in the dock. The allegation, or I guess rumor, that From Software has Dark Souls 3 running on the system with the possibility of a full trilogy release if it comes to it. And then later that day, we first heard from Liam Robertson, the Unseen 64 contributor, and later backed up by Eurogamer, that GameCube games would be coming to Virtual Console, along with more of a focus and possibly a similar upgrade program to what we saw going from Wii to Wii U.
And I think there was another rumor that I think it also came from Liam about Smash Brothers adding new characters, but not that many. I think the number that he said was 2. But I think he was the only person I saw talking about that.
That could just be. Would technically adding the Ice Climbers only be 2?
I think technically, if you're adding the Ice Climbers, that would be 1. It's 2 if you want to be an asshole about it. So maybe that's what Liam was in. No, I like him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and he's got some pretty good sources too, especially around the whole Devil's Third kerfuffle last year.
Yeah, no, I've talked to Liam about things before, and not always a 100% certain track record, but no one really has that. So I think if you're looking for someone with a spotless track record, you're looking at someone who rarely speaks up. So yeah, but as far as I guess speaking specifically to like Smash Brothers on Switch, I haven't heard too much in the realm of specifics, but I think like it being kind of a mashup of the Wii U and the 3DS version seems very likely, and I think we will see new characters.
I just 3DS version in there.
What?
Just get Smash Run in there. I'll be happy.
Maybe don't eat, Zach. You must starve.
Yeah, I mean, if they're adding if they're giving all the modes to this game that are on 3DS and Wii U, maybe add in your Ice Climbers, because hey, you can finally do that now, and
maybe Wolf.
And I think Wolf, Inklings, if they really want to get wacky, but I don't think they would.
Yeah, because Inklings is one of those things that there were a lot of people swearing by that. I never really bought into the Inklings and Smash hype, but it makes sense. Like, there's a lot of routes that could go for that extra character. It could be, like Wolf, a left out character from before, like Ice Climbers the same way, or it could be something new. And I think if it is something new, like you do Inklings, that just makes sense.
Yeah, because Splatoon's like the best-selling console game of this generation, even post Final Fantasy 15. So, at least in Japan. I mean, not worldwide, clearly, but definitely in Japan. That if they want to appeal, you want to play as Smash Brothers with the Inklings? Here you go. Go buy a Switch.
Yeah, and I think going back to the rumors that you actually had prepared, but I think the Smash Brothers Switch, I think that's a little farther off. Like, I think we'll see Mario Kart and Splatoon Wii U ports to Switch before we'll see Smash Brothers.
Interesting.
Yeah. But that's more speculation on my part from what I like the I guess the concrete stuff I've heard about each game.
Yeah, and I mean, because we got word like last year that they were working on a Smash Brothers game for the NX at the time. At least Namco Bandai was, and I could see it taking a year to balance 2 new characters.
I mean, that's also saying that they're like going full bore development into it, which we have no idea. Like they could have started working on it and maybe it started and stopped. Maybe they only had a small team working on it. Like we really don't know. Because I would imagine it's not like they're gonna like throw like I don't even know how big the Smash Wii U 3DS team was, but like that whole team ain't working on a Smash Switch port. Like that's a small team.
No.
Yeah,
Like I would not be surprised if Sakurai. I think Sakurai might be like a producer on it, but I would assume it's probably some of the guys at Bandai that worked on it with them are probably the leads on this version.
Yeah. And then that gives them an excuse to sell a bunch of new amiibo as well. You know, Cloud, Core, and Bayonetta, and the 2 new characters.
Because I think the Smash Brothers amiibo have been the only consistent sellers. I'm curious to see how those Zelda amiibo will do that came out last week. I have them. They're not nearby, unfortunately, but they look really good.
I have the Wind Waker ones.
They look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a set of the Wind Waker ones to give as a Christmas present, so can't open them, but they do look nice, and we found out the Breath of the Wild functionality is minor, but still
fun. Minor is one way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying that. So the other rumors, I haven't heard anything about this Dark Souls business, but I'd probably like someone could have hit me in the face with that. It's not that I dislike Dark Souls. I just don't think those games are for me.
Same.
That's nothing personal, game. You're just not what I want to play. I
tried to play Bloodborne. I really did.
From Software is listed as they were listed as a Switch developer during the reveal. So like this is a highly logical rumor. Whether or not it has merit, well, time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, I thought initially it'd be whatever their new Armored Core game is, but you know, a Souls re-release would make sense, especially with that rumor that it could be a trilogy if there's enough demand for it.
Yeah.
And honestly, anything that's RPG like that would play really well in a handheld. So
yeah, I was gonna say if I'm ever gonna play a Dark Souls game, it would be on Switch.
Yeah, that's pretty much me and Skyrim's. Like, I won't play this normally, but if it's on the Switch, I'll give it a shot.
We had Lydia Washington in the chat just asked any news for the price of the Switch. I don't know anything specific, but I would buy heavily into Laura Kate Dale's report on what was it, that $250 for like
$300 with a pack-in or something.
Is that it?
Yeah, and one of the other rumors they talked about was that was brought up this week was that they want to sell additional docks so that you can just plug it into any dock in your house.
Dude, I love that. And yeah, they had the report on the event happening right around the Switch event on the one that's in January 13th in New York. I think there's one in Europe at the same time. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of small events across the country, and then more small events. And part of the reason why they're going to be smaller is that they are going to have it so like there's going to be couches and TVs and docks, and you could go up and play a game demo and pick it up and go like sitting on the couch, play the game, go to another TV, drop it in there. And they're apparently going to have smaller events because like they don't want to have to keep track of like a bajillion Switches. They want to have better security on that, which makes sense. Not even mad. That's just logical.
Yeah.
Because even if somebody was to take one of those things out of the event, well, they'd probably get slapped by security. But it's kind of hard to charge the thing if you don't have the dock.
Well, if it's a common USB, then
yeah, and
which ties into that other rumor.
Yeah, where they showed not only that the Let's Play Video Games report that there would be extra power when it's plugged in because it's able to run everything through USB, but also the Australian version, the Australian EB Games website was listing USB-C accessories for it, which means hey, if I get a charger for my phone for Christmas, I could plug that into a Switch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so instant power no matter where I am. I just have to make sure I get one with really high capacity because running a video game system off that is going to kill that thing in seconds.
I do. I mean, I've heard similar. I remember hearing something, and it was I think like right before the reveal. Hearing the idea of like that there was going to be a dock, there was going to be the tablet controller, and there was going to be like a booster that you would either like hook up to the dock or hook up to the tablet, and it would be a bigger drain on battery, but it would like give more of a graphical boost.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was right or if like that's coming later or something. I don't know. Like it could be like an expansion pack down the line for all I know. But I mean,
Yeah.
it does seem like while it might not be like night and day, like I think there's going to be ways to kind of power the system stronger than the base model if you really want to.
Yeah. Or even they could sell like a pro model down the road a couple
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, I mean it's that seems to be the model that video games are going. I mean, if you look at the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, and we actually got some comments. I think it was it from Shu Yoshida from Sony talking about how like they're very happy with PS4 Pro sales so far. I mean, that's if the PS4 Pro is a success with what I would say like a hack job of marketing from Sony, where like they had that event in September and then basically crickets. Um,
Yeah.
like if the PS4 Pro is a success, that either means that yeah, people are willing to do these like kind of pointless upgrades. I mean, not saying 4K TVs, not a pointless up to me. To me, I have zero interest in the PS4 Pro. It's just not like I don't have a TV for it. I don't want to have a TV for it for a while. If I did have a TV for it, I still don't know if I'd care. But if it's going to sell well, then that means that there's an appetite for that. And I guess what we'll probably find out with the Scorpio and whatever the hell Nintendo plans to do post Switch is whether or not that was just because the PS4 is very popular or if people want to get those incremental upgrades.
I mean, to be fair, we know better than anyone that half step upgrades are
And I mean,
popular.
yeah, and for 3DS that worked. Like if you look at, I mean, if you look at how 3DS sales were in the toilet, and the new 3DS, it wasn't a long lasting bump, but like it was a couple months where sales were a lot better than they were before. And if you do that better, like I would say, new 3DS basically like almost revived a dead system.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the thing that probably actually did revive it one more time later on. But
Yeah.
But that final rumor, the GameCube Virtual Console, admittedly, I don't like. I'm not a big fan of some of the games that really get emphasized when people talk about what they want on GameCube Virtual Console. But
Well,
honestly,
let's
I
look.
think
Didn't the rumor listed specific games? Did it not?
it listed Luigi's Mansion, Smash Melee, and Sunshine.
Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing was
And,
mentioned too.
yeah, and
So,
hey,
so,
Animal
so
Crossing.
let's focus for the discussion for the matters of this, so that we don't get into a GameCube holy war. Let's focus on the 4 games that were linked to this rumor. So
Yeah.
so it's
The
Melee, Animal Crossing, Sunshine, and Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah,
Which
and Animal Crossing, I'm wondering if that's going to have some content taken out because
that's
well,
okay. So like 2 weeks ago, heard from a source, made some comment about how, oh yeah, like GameCube Virtual Console, that's a thing. They're like Melee's like the game that they're working really hard to get out. That'll probably be one of the first ones out. Get exactly what the other games are. I know Luigi's Mansion was mentioned. I'm not sure that's mentioned. And part of the thing with Animal Crossing that was directly called out by this source, NES games would be playable inside of the Virtual Console version of Animal Crossing.
okay,
Which, when the Eurogamer report came out, they had that exact same description of like those games, like the NES games would be playable in the GameCube version. They listed pretty much the similar games. I actually went back to that source today and was like, hey, were you a part of like vetting or like confirming or sourcing that Eurogamer story? And I was told no, which honestly to me makes me lends more credence to this Eurogamer story, because it was like I heard almost the exact same thing to like weird details. Even NERD doing the emulation, that was something that I heard too, and Eurogamer's story was exactly what I heard. So yeah, I think we're getting GameCube Virtual Console. I don't know if it'll be
okay.
there at launch. I think it'll be mentioned on January 12th though.
Yeah, and I'm wondering. So, are we looking at about what 15 US for these games then, or 20 for me? Because it would fit nicely in between where N64 games are and what they charge for Wii games now.
Yeah, because N64 were 10 and Wii games are 20. Wii games aren't variable, right? They're all 20 across the board.
Yeah, they're 20 or well, the only variable pricing they have is in Canada.
Okay.
But for you guys, yeah, it's $19.99 for everything.
Yeah, no, I think $14.99 for GameCube games. I mean, I think there's some games that like I wouldn't scoff too much at $15 for Luigi's Mansion. I definitely totally understand if other people do. But I think like $15 for Melee, like
Yeah.
I don't tell Nintendo I'd give them like 30 for Melee. That sounds great. Like
the last time we told Nintendo anything about pricing, we got a $250 3DS. So
Yeah.
let's not.
And we got Earthbound for $2 more.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like I mean, you know, rumors and discussion and everything, you know, that things can go awry. I mean, we're getting to a point where any kind of solid rumor, I mean, it's probably not going to change too much. We're a month away from them revealing everything. Hopefully. I hope they reveal everything. I hope they don't just go up there and they'll be like, here's a new Mario game. We'll talk to y'all next month. Like, I'll be very confused.
I think a lot of people are going to be very confused. Although
we're going to tell you guys about Pokemon Stars coming to 3DS next year. I'm like, wait, what?
And I can go pre-order a Switch right now, but I would really like to know how much I'm going to have to lay down when I do that in January.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually, when I was picking up the Wind Waker 2-pack at a GameStop, I started talking to, I mean, not that like random store manager at GameStop knows everything, but I asked him like, Switch pre-orders. He's like, they're going to open up on right after that event. Like, we haven't heard anything specific other than like, get ready for those days.
Yeah, and just to let everyone know, Zach's having some technical difficulties again, so he's dropped out, sadly. Thank you, Zach, for coming. We'll try again next week, maybe. But and he's trying again right now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. You're back.
Yeah, I have to start Audacity over again.
That's fine. We're live.
I haven't said anything. So it's all good. Sorry,
Okay.
Alec. I don't know what's happening. Now I'm recording.
Okay. All right. So Zach, where do you stand on what they've showed or what has been rumored so far for the GameCube VC, which is basically Luigi's Mansion, Smash, Mario Sunshine, and Animal Crossing?
I would play all those games except Animal Crossing because I have the most recent Animal Crossing, and why would you go back to previous versions of it? And I would also pay $15 for all those games.
Well, I mean, $15 would get you a bunch of NES games if there was a way to easily unlock them all.
Well, I probably have those all on Virtual Console.
Pretty much.
But the one I'm most excited about is Luigi's Mansion because I never played the original.
I like the original a lot.
I like the sequel a lot, so I'm imagining I'd like the original.
Yeah. I would find it hard to go back to Smash Melee simply because we're going to have a new version of Smash Brothers at least possibly two versions of Smash Brothers on the Switch, and even then, I could just the Wii U version's still right there, and it's got way more content.
But I mean, I feel like, there's like a community for Smash Brothers Melee, and I can definitely I would probably play both. Like for me, I mean, I think it's the same thing like offering like an old Mario Kart game on Virtual Console. I just think with Smash Brothers, because of how like those games have kind of built on each other more.
Yeah.
But, I think Melee is a different game than Smash Wii U. Melee is a different game than Brawl.
Yeah,
and it does have that. I think releasing Melee on Switch, especially, and if you do a very good job emulating it, and like it can be used for tournaments and stuff, like that's brilliant, because that's a way of like leveraging an old game in a way that would get an active community on a game that you're not making any money off of now. You would be able to make money off of that community.
Yeah.
Would the Switch be powerful enough to run that game as people remember it, though, on the game as they remembered on the GameCube? Because I seem to recall it ran. Well, then again, the Wii U version 60 frames, and so was the GameCube version. But
Yeah.
I
That's why
wonder if
NERD, the wizards who did the emulation for the NES Classic, which is light years beyond what Wii U NES emulation was. I mean, they're the people doing Virtual Console for the Switch, if the rumors are to be believed, which I think makes a hell of a lot of sense.
yeah, these guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've done a lot of technology work. So if anybody would know how to get everything running just picture perfect on a new system, it'd be either those guys or M2, and well, Sega's M2. So
yeah. Although hey, M2 did the Game Boy Advance.
We're getting more 3D classics. Aren't we getting another round of those?
Only like
there's another.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a new collection coming out in Japan soon, but I think it's just rolling up the last ones I didn't get in the last collection.
And I think there's two new. I think Thunder Zone 3 is one of them, and God, is it like I forget what the other one is.
They got a couple of because Sega just bought the rights to the Technosoft stuff, which was a huge Genesis developer back in the day.
Hmm.
Well,
I hope
call Greg Seward and find out what's going on.
Till the heat death of the universe, I hope they keep on doing that.
Yes. I would like Vector Man 3D.
That'd be really cool. Kid Chameleon 3D is what I want.
Yeah.
I played Kid Chameleon a lot as a kid.
Yeah, but Sega would have. I mean, honestly, because with stuff like Metroid Prime, where you have the trilogy on the Wii U or possibly on the Switch. Same with Wind Waker. There's a newer, better version of that game, at least.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact that it makes me seasick to play Wind Waker HD. That's how good a job they did with the realism on the water. I mean, Skies of Arcadia Legends, Paper Mario, and
Soul Calibur.
That's the thing. I mean, if you want to hear more about the GameCube, you can listen to a podcast on NintendoReport.com called Cube Fight. Andy Gergen and I, we pit GameCube games against each other to the death, bro.
So where is that latest episode, by the way?
I mean, there's one that Andy was supposed to post it. It went out to patrons.
So go to patreon.com/NWR and you can get the most recent episode.
if $2 or more a month. Sorry.
What are the two games you pitted against each other?
Well, this one actually, it's the latest telethon episode finally went up.
Okay.
Where we were joined by Dan Bloodworth and we talked about Star Fox Adventures and Animal Crossing. I'm about halfway through editing Mario Party 4 versus Metroid Prime.
I wonder what'll win. That's tough.
Mario Party 4's got that in the bag.
Sure.
Maybe if it were Mario Party 2.
Metroid Prime, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you of all people. Come on. But we also talk a little bit about Cubivore, but then we kind of DQ'd Cubivore because, like, I feel like if we allowed Cubivore, then we need to talk about Doshin the Giant, and I don't really have an easy means of playing Doshin the Giant.
And you'd also have to play Space Station Silicon or Valley or whatever it's called.
That came out on Nintendo 64.
Oh, fuck.
That's not even by Nintendo, isn't it? Like it's like Rockstar.
DMA design now, Rockstar.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, except Atlas published it in North America.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of our stipulation, was that like Nintendo didn't even publish it in North America, and we've kind of been focusing on just Nintendo published games. But anyway.
Anyway.
What was that? Is that it for the Switch Rumor Palooza?
Yeah,
and I just say this isn't the scariest virtual console news of the week because Metroid Other M's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah. I said on Twitter the other day that I really like Metroid Other M, except for the story, the cutscenes, the voice acting, the pixel hunts, and the linearity. But everything else, and the turret-like missile launching. But everything else is great.
I would say I would agree with you on that, except for the linearity didn't bother me that much. And I think the missile thing is suboptimal, but not bad. I like the feeling of movement in that game a lot. Like, I like it sucks because I think that Metroid Other M had a lot of good things about it, but the bad things about it just overwhelmed it.
Yes.
And even though like I beat that game and enjoyed it, um, like I would if I would have reviewed that game back in the day, like it probably would have been positive. It probably would have been similar to like my Star Fox Zero review, where it's something where it's like, oh, there's issues, but it's still really fun.
Yeah. I figured out what happened to Audacity. My cat stepped on the keyboard and closed it.
Zach, close the door.
I'm in the kitchen, dude.
Yeah, I know. But hey, and then if you want something good on Virtual Console tomorrow, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and Demon's Crest are coming out. Shadow Dragon on Wii U, Demon's Crest on 3DS.
Yeah, Demon's Crest I think I'm going to pick up on 3DS for sure.
It's probably better on a portable. It really is.
Yeah.
That game is.
I played Gargoyle's Quest. And Gargoyle's Quest 2.
Gargoyle's Quest.
Yeah, you have the whole.
Games are better than Demon's Crest. I'm just going to say.
I mean,
Hey, you get the whole. As when Jeremy Parrish pointed out on Twitter just after I had posted that, you get to have the whole system on one console.
Yeah.
For the first time ever.
It was pretty cool.
Or the whole series on one console. So there you go.
So what else?
So
there was that nonsense rumor that apparently Koei Tecmo wanted to do Star Fox Warriors.
There's enough characters that they probably could have made it happen.
I was in favor of that until I figured out how much crystal would be involved.
Like, I don't know if I'd like that. Like, because Hyrule Warriors is like, it's a very special thing where it's just like my love of everything Zelda mixed with like the joy of just like playing a mindless, fun game. Like that, I feel like that's a perfect storm. Because I've tried playing other Warriors games, even like Dragon Quest Heroes, and like, well, I think Dragon Quest Heroes might be a more interesting game than Hyrule Warriors. It just like the nostalgia doesn't hit me as hard as like, you know, playing as Midna and hookshotting the moon. Like,
right?
Like that's incredible. Like, it's just like every like minute in Hyrule Warriors, you're like, like the ridiculous becomes the normal. Where it's just like, oh yeah, like the what is it, like Luna or whatever? And she's like, oh yeah, it's Lana. Yeah, she's just like, she uses her Deku staff, and there's a Deku tree just out of nowhere. Like that's a normal attack.
Yeah, the thing about Star Fox is that it doesn't have the, universe to support the kind of fanboyism that Hyrule Warriors is all about.
This is very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I would welcome Koei Tecmo to try to like do something with do a Musou game with another Nintendo franchise. Like it's
Animal Crossing.
Like I don't even care. Just do it. Like it'd be ridiculous.
No,
really,
I think
really put them on the
F-Zero
GTA game.
Yeah. Fire Emblem Musou, it's coming.
Yeah, I mean that's like one of those things that like I feel like it's too logical that they shouldn't do it. Do an Advance Wars Musou. Like
that would be interesting.
You guys have been waiting for a new Advance Wars? Well, this isn't that.
I mean, they're more than happy to turn strategy games into Musou games nowadays. Look at the next Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah. I forgot that it was even happening.
Maybe that Tank Wars game will be a Musou game with tanks.
Oh yeah, that's coming out in like a week in Japan.
Oh, really? A week? Holy shit.
They've got like 3 weeks left to put that out in North America to make the 26th.
I have a feeling it's going to be like a random. I'm looking. I know the release date. Well, actually, technically, it's winter in North America, 2017 in Europe.
Is it going to take the also this week spot in the downloads article?
Yeah, maybe. I know a release date got announced for it in Japan, but I can't.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like next week.
Was I drunk? Like, did this not happen? I googled Tank Troopers release date and nothing's coming up. Okay, gets a release date in Japan. Hold on. December 21st. So yeah, we got 2 weeks until Tank Troopers comes out.
Yeah, so I guess that would be winter 2016 technically, because that'd be the first day of winter.
Yeah, Yeah, but I mean, I
don't
guess,
think-
but it doesn't have to come out this year in North America for them to like be truthful.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So
I kind of expect it to come out before the end of the year here, but
yeah,
who knows?
yeah. Maybe it gets that Minecraft slot, the last big release of the year next
Yeah.
week.
There you go.
I mean, big, like really, like I hope Tank Trooper's cool, but
Yeah.
we saw like what
I'm
30
really
seconds
stretching
where,
with that.
like, there's characters that you play as. You're in a tank. Like that's all we know about it.
All right. But something we do know that is coming next week is Niantic announcing today that Pokemon Go is getting another round of Pokemon starting with more details to come on Monday. And at least one of the recent updates for that game had second generation Pokemon in it. So
So do we
But
think that
shouldn't
this
they
is
finish
second
releasing
gen,
the
or would this be
first-generation
legendaries?
well, I mean, they're in there, and that would be a good. I mean, it would be a good way to spike the game right before the holidays.
But wouldn't legendaries also do that too?
Yeah, haven't they not finished the Pokedex yet?
That's, I, I must confess, because of my work environment, I don't have a reason to play Pokemon Go all that much. So I'm honestly not sure. But
Yeah,
my
I mean, well, yeah, I
understanding
mean,
is
the legendaries have not been officially released at all. They just released Ditto like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like second gen seems more logical, but they haven't done anything with the legendaries, and it'd be kind of weird to be like, oh, now you can get 100 new Pokemon. Still, there's 5 that you can't get.
Right.
yeah.
I'm kind of I'm a lapsed player right now. I was an active player, but then I lapsed like a week or two ago. I will assuredly check this out next Monday when they like reveal stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, and since Christmas is coming, they need to get Delibird out there. So might as well just drop them in the update randomly, and hope nobody notices.
Yeah.
All right, so just a couple of things we've been playing here since I've been still doing nothing but Pokemon pretty much for the last couple of weeks. I think we're all sick of hearing about that. Neal, you got a couple of Dragon games, I think.
Well, okay, so we have a review of Dragon Ball Fusions up on the site from Brian Rose. You can go read that on NintendoWorldReport.com. You can also read my upcoming review, which I submitted yesterday, in the next issue of Nintendo Force magazine, which I can to here and there. I think that Dragon Ball Fusions is the absolute dopiest fucking game I've played all year. I guess no, it's that and Project Cross Zone 2 are both very, very dopey games. So the hook for Dragon Ball Fusions is that like you create an avatar, which that's kind of cool because like you can pick a human character. I was a Namek, like the Piccolo race. You can be in like an Outlander or Outworld. I don't know. I forget the terms. I like watched Dragon Ball a lot when I was like 12. So I have like innate memories from that came back when I played this game. So you create your own avatar, and then you and your friend get the Dragon Balls, and then you get like Shenrong shows up. You're like, all right, I wish to have a tournament where we find out who's strongest. And then Shenrong's just like, what? Okay. And you're like, what happened? And then you wind up in this world where it just like takes everybody from the Dragon Ball universe like through time in space and just puts them all in the same spot. And you do this kind of like weird like you do flow, like you do basically like play through the flow of Dragon Ball Z. So like you start off and you're fighting like you run into like what is it, Nappa and Raditz. And like they're like, why the hell are we here? And then you fight them, and then like you fight Frieza in the next one, and it's just then Cell and so on and so forth. And you recruit characters. The combat is a 5-on-5 turn-based strategy where you have sometimes it can be a square. Usually it's a circle that you can move around, or like you'll have a character's turn. And then you basically pick an enemy to an attack, and then they'll move towards them or stay in their spot depending on the move. And then you have to like attack them. You can attack them from different angles and like kind of ping pong them around the around the playing field. And the combat's pretty fun. It takes a little long in each battle, but it's fun in small doses. Unfortunately, that's kind of like all you do in the game. There's some overworld stuff, but the overworld is just a lot of like flying from point A to point B, and it's not that fun.
Oh.
But like the concept of the game and how ridiculous it is, and I haven't even gotten to all the stupid fusions that are in this game, hence the name. So like you have, for example, Nappa and Raditz fuse together to make gnats. And there's just like, and later on you kind of like, it's almost like you're like mating the characters to create a stronger character, and you need to like have the, have a prereq to be able to like fuse Yamcha with Chaozu and everything. It's weird. And you can like recruit all these different characters through time. So like you can have Kid Goku, you can have Adult Goku. Yeah. I think that's all I got to say about Dragon Ball Fusions. It's a really cool concept that I think wears out its welcome over the course of the game.
Yeah. So just like Project Cross Zone.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I don't know. Like Project Cross Zone 2 does do that, but I think that Project Cross Zone's 2 hook is way stronger than Dragon Ball Fusions.
Okay.
So I guess what I'm saying, go get Project Cross Zone 2.
It's been like $13 on Amazon.
Yeah, it's really cheap. It's where like just like get some beer, have a weekend, get Project Cross Zone 2, and then like after that weekend, throw out the game. Put it in the garbage. But like that weekend, you'll remember that weekend. It was really fun.
Yep.
So the other game I've been playing, and that ties into something we're going to record after this that is technically embargoed until tomorrow, about a certain January 3DS release. I went back and finally played. I'm finally playing Dragon Quest VII. So,
nice.
Like I bought this on launch, but I was in the middle. Like I think I reviewed Shin Megami Tensei 4 and then Yokai Watch 2, kind of like back to back. And by the time I got to the end of Yokai Watch 2, which like that game was a marathon that I did not enjoy as much. And then I was like, all right, I'll play some Dragon Quest VII. And like after that run of RPGs that I went through, the slow pace of Dragon Quest VII was not jiving with me at all.
Yeah.
So I like put 2 hours into it and put it down. But then after the demo that I went to, or the virtual demo that I went to for Dragon Quest VIII, I picked up Dragon Quest VII again. And I'm now like 4 hours in. I got like the second tablet. I'm in that area. And like that's kind of a nice, relaxing game. And I have a feeling I don't think I'm going to put all the time into it and beat it, but I think it might be the kind of thing that like how I kind of played Bravely Default for a while, which was like I'd play a chapter, then put it down, and like months would pass. But I left it off in a spot that I could just pick it up and like have like 10 minutes of like, okay, yeah, that's combat. This is what I got to do. And then go back into it. And that's how I played Bravely Default. I basically played it a chapter at a time, like once every other month.
Nice.
And I have a feeling that's probably what I'll do with Dragon Quest VII is I'll like get to it where like, all right, I have this tablet. All right, like I have the fragments for this tablet. So like I'll save here and then come back to it a little later.
Yeah.
But I've been enjoying it. Did either of you wind up playing Dragon Quest VII at all?
I'm about. I put a couple of weekends into it. It's just I don't know why it fell off for me. I still want to go back and play some more of it before the end of the year, in case I have to lock in some selections for some awards. But I think I just got caught up with other games and had to come back to it later on. I'm still in the guide that Nintendo put on the website though, so at the very least I'll have some idea as to where the heck.
Yeah, actually, I've been using that guide just as kind of like a pointer. If like there was actually one part pretty early on that I was like, wait, what the hell do I do? And then I just had like the sentences are all like so nice and vague, so they don't really spoil or ruin anything. It's just kind of like go to the item shop. Like it's not like go to the item shop, talk to this person, they'll tell you this.
Yeah.
It's like more of like a to-do list and not like a description of what's happening. Like I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
The old spoiler-free walkthroughs you used to see on GameFAQs all the time.
Yep. So yeah, that's what I got.
All right. And finally, Zach, you have something very rare that you had the opportunity to play a bit early thanks to being a Kickstarter backer. You have something that will actually come out on a Wii U disc.
Yes, it will come. I don't know when it's coming out on a disc, but it's coming to digital shops on the 20th. That is Shantae Half Genie Hero, which I have played through all the way on Steam. Backers got access to the full game on Steam. It's not a final build, but my version never crashed, and there were never any bugs. I think there was some missing music and some missing animations, but otherwise it was the complete game, and it was very good. I wasn't It wasn't as good as Pirate's Curse, but that's a high bar to clear for me. But it's very much like DuckTales and Pirate's Curse in that every level in the game is its own story. So there's a larger story you're trying to, you're going through, trying to track down risky boots, but every level has its own little. It's an episodic game, and it's very funny. The writing's good. The music's amazing. It's very pretty. The animation's wonderful. I guess my problem is the last two levels of the game before Risky's hideout feel really underserved by comparison to the early levels. And Pirate's Curse, honestly, was a little bit like that too. Did either of you beat Pirate's Curse?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I have all the Shantae games, but I've honestly never played them.
Oh, wow. Well, at the end of Pirate's Curse, the last two levels, the snow level and the mud bog level, like you don't have to go back and revisit them very much once you have all the powers. And it's the same way in this game. Like the first three levels in this game, you revisit a lot and you find a lot of stuff. So you have a lot of reason to go back. But the last two levels are like, well, there's two things in here. It's just a weird balance issue. I wish they'd spread stuff out far better.
And this isn't like a Mega Man game where you can play the levels in any order, so it's not like you could take this in a different way and come back and have to deal with it later.
No. You just like Pirate's Curse, you find maps to the next level once you've cleared a level. But that's a minor complaint. It's a wonderful game. The final boss is like such a wonderful homage to the series that the Shantae games have come to imitate. Let's say that.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, but it's a great game. I'm actually playing through the speed run now, speed run mode, which is not as it is not as not as speed runny as the pirate mode in Pirate's Curse, but it's close to it. And I think once there's an option for another character playthrough once you seemingly beat the speedrun mode. There's a shadowy character. So I'm hoping, I think I know who it is, but that'll be interesting if that unlocks.
Yeah, I've got this one on pre-order for the physical version, which that's probably going to end up falling into next year at this point because Xseed is distributing this, and they've put some games out real close to Christmas before, but I don't think this one's making it this year, at least for the disc copies.
Yeah, I doubt it. But yeah, I mean, it should be out. The backers should be getting their codes prior to the 20th, but the game should go on sale for everybody, I believe, on December 20th.
Yeah, and it's nice to see a long-running Kickstarter game that looks like it's actually going to come out pretty well.
Yeah, because it's been delayed quite a bit.
Last night, I went to Target on a whim, and I bought Mighty Number 9 for $10.
Oh, you asshole!
And I sat down with it, and I said, "Isn't it interesting that I got Mighty Number 9 tonight because I just played through Shantae? So let's pop in Mighty Number 9, and holy shit, that looks awful! It looks like a terrible PS2 game." And the voice acting is.
This is on you, man. You didn't have to get that game.
I didn't have to get that game, but
He's not alone, Neal. I bought it for the same price on Wii U. I instantly regretted it.
And the best part to me is the front of the box says it includes a digital copy for PS3 and Vita. The Vita version is not even out yet.
The Vita version ain't never coming out, Zach.
It's also coming out for 3DS.
Oh my god!
Allegedly.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, the 3DS might be the platform where that art style actually looks good.
Yeah, because it does not look good in HD.
And the 3DS is about as powerful as a PS2, so let's give it a PS2 game. Although from what I've heard about who's doing the port for that game, maybe we'd be better off if they just took it out back and shot it.
I mean, I think they did that. Like, it's been months.
So that's I guess that'll do it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I don't know what's going to be happening next week, because you thought this week was pretty slow for news. Next week's going to be even worse.
Well, we'll
then
have
it's going to be
Super Mario Run.
Ooh, that's right, we will. And Reggie's going to be on Fallon tonight, if you want to put up with that. And
and we have that. Yeah, there's a Miyamoto's going to be in an Apple store in New York. I might be going to that. I mean, I don't think we'll get any like groundbreaking news on it, but it might be like some fun information and more details about what exactly that game is, which I think we have a pretty good handle on what it is. As we get more, I mean, we're ostensibly a week away from Super Mario Run. I'm pretty excited. Like,
I forgot about it, honestly.
That looks like fun. Like, it might not be something I'm like playing for weeks on end. And it might be like Project Cross Zone too. It might be like this awesome weekend, and I'm like, well, I can throw out this iPhone now. Because I will be full disclosure. I don't own an iPhone. I own a Nexus 5, but my wife recently upgraded her iPhone, so I'm going to be playing this on her like iPhone 4S. I know I checked it's on the lower end of what Super Mario Run should work on, so it might not be an ideal way to play it, but I really want to play this game.
Yeah. I'm going to see my parents next weekend for Christmas, and I might hijack my dad's iPad and see if it can run Super Mario Run. See how that controls on a tablet.
Yeah, like
I bet it's
can't imagine.
Laura Croft probably on a tablet.
It's even better on a Vita, except it runs like anyway.
That's what I've heard. That's weird.
Yeah, a lot of developers are finding they're having trouble getting Vita games to run properly, especially if they're coming from the PS4. Because there's a lot of work involved in getting that to parity. And I think Cosmic Star Heroine, which is still in development, probably coming out next year sometime, that's one of the few games I can think of where the developer is putting explicit effort into making sure that it runs at 60, just like the PS4 PC versions do.
That game looks great.
I don't know what that is.
That is it's a Sega CD style RPG.
Oh, cool.
Set in space.
Oh.
So I disclaimer, I back that
game. Yeah. I mean, also I guess disclaimer, Zach and I both backed Shantae. I just did it at a much lower level. I did like an early bird special where it was like, give us $13 and you'll get our game a little cheaper.
Oh, you know what? There's an art gallery in Shantae where our own Andrew Brown submitted some art, and it's
cool.
Nice.
And he's very clearly in the top 3 pieces of art in fan art.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
More you know.
All right. Well, we'll have more on Mario Run and other things next week. Maybe Alex will be back, and it'll probably be early in the week because, like I said, at the end of the week, I'm out of here.
Oh, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out next week.
But we're going to come to it.
Yeah. So you can find us at NintendoWorldReport.com. Obviously, you probably follow the link from there. We have more videos on this channel, youtube.com/NINWRTV.
Yes, NinWRTV.
Yep, including the very very long Zelda deep dive with Neal and John
Yes.
Reardon.
Yeah. And I stand by what I said in that video. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, support us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/NWR. Your support helps us keep the lights on, and like make sure we can still have a website, still do things.
And gives us, and if you support high enough, we'll Mystery Science Theater 3000 the Game Awards with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, sure. I mean, we did that. Yeah. For our $25 and higher tier, we do patron game nights, but we wound up just talking during the Game Awards, which is more fun than I thought it would be. Like, that was a good time.
Did you all give Jeff a hard time when he was weeping on stage?
I was too busy weeping at the Zelda trailer. I think during that I was poring over the Zelda trailer because I was recording the deep dive later that night with John. And I'm just like, is he still going on about Kojima? Like, really?
Yep.
This is still happening? Just like, get on
that almost got to the point you would have gotten thrown off Twitch though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks to one of our patrons, I almost have a full Pokedex now. So.
Oh yeah, did you guys do that during that?
Yeah, we spent about an hour swapping Pokemon back and forth just to do trade. By the way, the Pokemon Sun and Moon, great game, multiplayer pain in the ass.
Oh,
that's all I'll say. Yeah, but if you want to follow us individually on Twitter, I am at Donald Mick, DONALDMICK. I have another show, NFR Podcast, Nintendo Free Radio, the unofficial podcast of the NWR forums. Neal is on Twitter at Enron10, and Zach is ZMiller1902.
Cheap.
That's all. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much, and we'll see you probably tomorrow with some Dragon Quest talk.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.